Hello and welcome to the PNB Nation, where it is all personal, not business. I'm your host, Mr. Rico, and I will be your guide through all things people and give you in-depth insights, strategies, and the secrets to behavioral dynamics to creating a common language for understanding people in and out of the workplace. So let's get started. Talent or skill? Which one's important? So how do we separate fact from fiction in our understanding of talent versus skill? Well, we can start by understanding the meaning of each, and more importantly, where does it apply? Why do so many people believe in the myth of talent equals success? In this episode, it's personal because skill does not equal achievement. Okay, so that's our challenge together for today. Let's start here. Why do most people think what talent actually is? I'd ask you, what do you think talent is? Any ideas? I'll give you a moment. Okay, so let's see what Webster says is the definition of talent. According to the dictionary, talent is a natural aptitude or ability. In other words, what you were born with. When you hear the word talented, what do you imagine? A superstar athlete, a virtuoso violinist, or an amazing actor who moves your emotions at will? Or maybe even an amazing artist like the one who painted Mona Lisa or created the first helicopter. But what about your kids, coworkers, boss, and dare I say it, in-laws? Do you see them as having any talent? And no, knowing you is not a talent. Skill maybe, but not a talent. Chances are that when you hear the phrases of talent, your mind starts to serve images rooted in our expectations of amazing people doing what can be seen sometimes as superhuman or even fiction. Think about Jordan's free throw jump and dunking the ball. For better or for worse, you're not far from alone. According to HR Magazine, a recent poll of CEOs, 68% of them said that talent equals potential. Another poll created by Gallup said talent is how we are hardwired. So it's something that's natural, that is part of who we are and what we do. Well, I'm here today to tell you we are all talented at something. However, that does not mean that you have the skill to really stand out from the crowd. Most people believe that they are good at something, but very few actually apply it, or even few elevate themselves to be admired by others. It is then and only then that you start to notice, looking how nothing's really changed if it didn't feel like anything really did, and get completely absorbed in this, like a radical thing that the likes of which you've never seen. That's because most people don't know there is a formula to increase the quality of your achievement. Most people believe, incorrectly so, all they have to do is show up and their talent will just carry them through. Well, here's the reality. That may be true, but it's short-lived success. Achievements, like physics, has laws. Two, in fact, and they both build on each other. The first equation is on how to acquire this skill needed to begin and making sure that your talent has a conduit of success. And that equation is talent times effort over time equals skill. What this means is the amount of time you have invested in the effort of developing one's talent will result in the skill necessary to doing that thing well. In other words, the skill of which you are doing, and let's take a look at skill. What is the definition of skill? The definition of skill is the ability to use one's knowledge effectively in the execution of a task. This is what is needed in order for the talent to have that space, that ability to be able to express itself and show up. Now, without the knowledge on how to use that talent to its full level, it's only just called potential, and that's the difference. Just because you have talent does not mean you know how to use it properly. Here's an example. Think of an attorney who just graduated from law school, top of their class. They had natural talent, the aptitude in the legal field. Some would even say they were a natural fit. They were natural at doing it. It almost seemed effortless. Trouble is, they have no real world experience, only the academic experience and skill that was necessary and developed in an academic environment. When you put them up against a 20-year veteran, they are not going to do so well. They are going to initially struggle because they do not have the real world skills to allow that natural talent to function in that environment. They haven't put in the time and effort to develop that particular skill in that arena as necessary. Here's the trick: that you need to know that you're entering a different environment and that you need to elevate your skill in order to compete on that arena at that level. The key is to making this work is the amount of time invested in the effort of developing the skill. This will equal how well your talent executes. This is when true talent truly becomes that equalizer. When you give it the foundation, when you put in the effort, you work this skill to the environment that is necessary in that arena, then your talent starts to bridge the gap because you're giving it the tools and the how to execute. And more importantly, the second equation is going to show you how to do that. So the second equation is skill, time effort divided by the time to that effort equals the quality and size of your achievement. Let me say that again. The skill times the effort divided by the amount of time put into the effort will equal the quality and size of your achievement. Now, this may surprise you. Effort is required for both equations to work. But what is effort really? You may be asking. Well, effort is the amount of exertion or work done to accomplish a goal or a task. So the more time and effort you spend in improving the gap between current skill and the skill needed to thrive and do better in that foundation or the environment, you provide a stronger, think of a trampoline, if you will, for your talent to make up the difference. You give it the opportunity to enhance what you have been working in. Once you apply this, you suddenly experience the world in a very different way. Like if you were transported to the world of the Jetsons or Star Wars, may the talent be with you. The truth is, the amount of time you spend in the effort of sharpening your skills, the better chance you'll have in your talent and elevating you to the next level. Now, all that stuff seems logical and makes sense, but I still have one question. If skill plus time and effort are required for talent to thrive, why does it seem that it comes easy to some people over others? Good question. So let's take a professional NBA player, say Isaiah Thomas, or even better, Magic Johnson. Everybody knows Magic Johnson. Were they talented? Sure. Would you agree that they were a student of the craft of playing basketball? Absolutely. And would it be correct to say that they honed their skills of playing the game in such a way that they made it look easy? Of course, they apply the two principles of equation of achievement. Trouble is, they were not able to translate that same talent in skill and that same sport to coaching. They sucked. Trouble is, they assumed that the same mastery of that sport was transferable to the skill of coaching. Their initial mastery of the skill as a player was to improve their natural talent of playing that sport, singular skill in a singular discipline. Now, coaching is a skill of understanding the team's need and developing that individual talent of each player so they can work in concert to accomplish a goal. The real talent of a coach is their ability to communicate in a way that each individual player can improve from that education. Now, both Isaiah and Magic did not take the time or the true effort of improving the skill of coaching in order to achieve the success that was required. Some would say they didn't really have the talent for it. This happens all the time in business all around the world. It's what I deal with every day. It's what the biggest challenges are for new leaders when they're being promoted. Top performers thrives. They have developed the skill over time. They outperform everybody else. Their natural conclusion to the organizations and the decision makers is that this is a natural born leader and they need to get promoted. It seems like the natural reward. The idea is if we put this talented person in this position, they will use all that newfound skill and develop clones of themselves. Now, in theory, that sounds pretty good. However, as we saw with magic, this does not mean that this person has the skill to lead. They may be talented, they may even be a natural born leader, but they may not have the skills. New leaders need to have training, mentorship, and education, and not just of their product or service, but the skill of managing, leading, and coaching their team, their talent, and sharpening their team's skills in order for them to thrive. There's a reason there's only a small percentage of top performers in any group. Their talent and skill set them above the rest in that discipline. This does not mean that those skills and talents are translated to a new position with different pressures, new environment, and responsibilities. They are unknowingly set up for failure. Their confidence is crushed, anxiety is high, frustration, bad ideas, poor communication, failure to decide, or even worse, decisions made in haste. These are all signs that you have a potential good leader struggling to apply their limited knowledge in that role to meet the expectations put upon them. Now, companies really need to think about this prior to promoting top performers. They tend to lose good talent and good employees because those individuals were thrown in the deep end without a life preserver. Now, I know they have good intentions and they mean well. The trouble is that many top performers fail at leading and managing not because they were not gifted, but because they were not given proper training. Matter of fact, they spend more training in their product and services than they've received to leading other people. They spent more time not getting tools, resources, and information necessary for them to thrive. It's wrong, it's unfair, and it really needs to change. So, if you are a leader of any organization, if you are a business owner, before you go and promote another top performer and eventually probably destroying their career, I want you to do three things. First, ask yourself, what are the top 10 skills and resources needed for this role to deliver on the expectation of success? And write those top 10 skills down. These are non-negotiable, be their past experiences or your current leader that you would like to clone. What are the skills they possess? And that could be from communication, organization, future thinking, whatever it may be. What are those top 10 skills? Once you do that, now ask yourself, what tools, resources, and developmental programs do we need to have to bring these new candidates up to the standards defined in question number 1 and the answers of those skills? And finally, number 3, when you're observing your new candidate or deciding on this new candidate for leadership, what does this new candidate have already demonstrated they're naturally good at that is part of those top 10 skills? Versus what skills they do not possess that we need to provide them with training, education, tools, and resources to meet the expectations of this role and responsibilities. This is going to help you to tailor and develop an approach to those new candidates and ensuring that they are ready for the job. Or more importantly, through the training, you discover they may not be a good fit. And you can course correct quickly, saving you time, saving you money, and saving that potential new talented resource from going somewhere else. we rise by lifting others. And it's so important that we now start to think strategically about how are we going to elevate the next talent? What skill do they need? What do we need to provide? Right now, our next generation of leaders are hungry for information and education. And if you're an organization that wants to take it to the next level, you need to think strategically. This is what we do every day. We provide those tools, those analytics, those resources. We become that bespoke learning and development resource so you're not trying to add more to your plate. This is our future. I hope this is of benefit. If you like it, make sure that you subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell and leave a comment. We don't promote. We don't add any ads. So all our ask for you is that you share this and you provide all those subscriptions and comments so that we can find those next gen leaders that could potentially use this information and transform the culture and the environment. I look forward to seeing you on our next episode on Mr. Rico. Have a great day.